Hi everyone, welcome to Mermaid Radio. I am Mami Olufunke. I pray everyone is well as they listen to this video. I am speaking today about something that's bothering me. I'm a little concerned because the forecast for this year from the very beginning was that there will be some kind of war against Black American people. And again, recently, I saw another video released about that. I wish I could tell you the YouTube links and everything, but I cannot. Talking about civil war against Black American people or Black people in America, because you don't necessarily have to be Black American. When people look at you, if you have the features and the skin color, people can see you as Black in America, which means Black American. And so I looked at it, and I want to talk to you about it today. So thank you for joining me on Mermaid Radio. Did a reading about it, and I got 8 Cowries on the mat and Ogun Tambours in the Veve prophecy cards. So this is a little, it seems contradictory, but it's not really. That Obatala reading, 8 Cowries, is mostly Obatala reading, Ovri. So it's about using your head. Obatala is in charge of all heads. So we have Obatala saying we're going to have to use wisdom, and we are going to have to use the cooler part of Ogun. So, and where we have Ogun Tambours, it's hard to really step back from what's coming to face us. And we're going to have to stand our ground. It's not going to be easy, but we can get it done with the coolness of Obatala. We can get it done with the strength and fortitude of Ogun. Ogun not only is a warrior and fights, and he not only looks for torrents of blood, and he has red eyes all the time, but he doesn't always look for blood, you know. Ogun also is the empire builder, so that where you see society set up on the land, from small towns and villages to great cities, that's Ogun. Ogun is the one who forged the path for that to happen. And so I wanted to make this a really quick video, but I don't think so. So I hope you like this video, and you should like and subscribe, please do. As Black American, as a Black American person, a woman born here in America to parents who were born here in America. On one side, I have so many generations born here in America. On the other side, we came in from the Caribbean. But I looked for us fighting this war for our survival, for our right to be. It's not a right to be like somebody else has to give me the right. It's the right to be as I have the wherewithal to express myself as I am and be accepted by people as I am. Whether they like me or not is not important. I'm coming, and this is how I come, and so here I am, and I have to deal with the people that I'm dealing with as they are. I find that Black American people are usually willing to deal with people as they are. White people, Asian people, Native American people, we come rather open to life, on the planet and how people express it. But usually people are not so understanding with us. How we speak, how we dress, how we learn. how we express ourselves. I mean, what we see in the movies and what we see in the videos that are online is just a small part of who we are and what we bring to the world. I'm very thankful for the instances of Black American representation that is in the world today. Some people are representing us in movies and real life situations. A lot of times we're represented, when we're representing ourselves for ourselves and by ourselves, like Beyonce's Black is King, then we speak a lot about our grace, our majesty, who we are, how we can develop ourselves and grow in the world as Black people. And that movie was truly magnificent in that respect. But then we have movies where we're always shown in a light where we are in service to others. In America, it would be the so-called white man. The so-called white man. I say so-called because it's a cultural thing. It's not really a only physical. It's physical, but it's a cultural thing. And now here we are with this so-called civil war. It's not really, I don't see it being a war of people shooting at us and we are shooting back at people, like the war in Vietnam or the Civil War even in this country years ago. I don't know when the Civil War was, please forgive me, but it's not going to be that kind of shoot 'em up war, because I looked around the globe, I looked in this country, Black people don't manufacture guns, and if the white man decides that they're not going to sell us guns, we're not going to be fighting with guns. So that's out. And most places, I don't know about every place in the United States of America, but I know in New York City, to own a bulletproof vest is illegal. So that if you put it on and go outside, you're committing a crime. So it doesn't matter if you're planning to actually hurt someone while you have it on, or do something untowards to another while you have it on. Just the act of having it on, you're already committing a crime. So you are in the commission of a crime, and you can be arrested and sent to jail just for owning the bulletproof vest. So, it's kind of difficult for us to fight a war as it's said in the forecast. But when we look at Ogun does a lot of things, not just war, not just fighting. I looked up Black people who are manufacturing guns, and we have some being manufactured, I believe, in Ghana, but they're all replicas of European models, Russian models, Belgian models. I didn't see any American models, but that's not online. I didn't see that, but anyway. So here I have this book, Africa's Ogun. It's edited by Sandra T. Barnes, and she put it together with a Robert Armstrong, Paula Gershnick, Ben Amos, Karen McCarthy Brown, Renato Ortiz, John Pemberton III, Adeboye Babalola, Bade Ajuwon, Margaret Thompson Jewell, Henry John Jewell, J.D.Y. Peel, and Philip Scher, John Mason. These people put this book together. I had done this video before, but I didn't like it, so I'm doing it again. And I'm looking for instances of that will help us in our fight to survive and to be relevant on the planet as Black American people. Because Black America is not African American, and it's not American. It's very specific place that we hold in the world. And we're in this in-between place that I don't know how to describe it. but we're not unsuccessful. And as a people, we're not super successful, And maybe we are super successful, but it's just that it's the reflective images of us in the media that comes out of America, in the media that comes out of other places in the world, has us such that we are not seen in the light that makes us look best. Put it that way. So I have this book. It's really wonderful. Okay, let me go back to that, because I opened the book to this Prayer the Hunter by Samson Amali, and I'm not sure that but it needs to be read here in this video, because we have to know who Ogun is, and we have to know who he is in his wisdom, so that we can employ him properly, so that he can secure us on our path to our good destiny, the best destiny for all Black American people. The Hunter. His weapons: a Dane gun, a product of the village's blacksmith, a bottle of gunpowder, a tin of cartridges. His attire: a piece of black cloth covering only his loins. He hung his cutlass on his loins. He rubbed his protective charm upon his chest and face, recited thrice the blessing and protective incantations. He opened his door gently, peeped out gently. The night was still. It was very dark. No sign of any living thing. Wind was blowing lightly. He walked backwards out of his room, raised his face into the sky. The sky had no stars. A good omen. He alone was awake. He stood still, studied the direction which the wind blew, and he began. So he went alone to hunt animals in thick forest, in the heart of the still night. This was his work. He was a hunter. He followed the footpath that passed through the forest with his Dane gun across his shoulder, all alone in the dark, still night. He blew his hunting horn, calling animals in their tones as he went along, alone. He arrived very close to the hunting spot, climbed the tree which stood very close to the hunting spot. He had prepared the spot for the animals to visit. He clutched his gun, ready to release the trigger at a moment's appearance of any animal. Sometimes he killed animals. Sometimes he killed no animals. His was a tedious job. He had been beaten by the rain many times as he squatted on the treetop, armed, awaiting his game. He had heard the voices of spirits. He had met dangerous spirits. He could talk with the animals. He was the mystery man of this land. So that shows us like a picture of Ogun when he's hunting. I'm hoping to find in this book a picture of Ogun when he's building. So we have Ogun, the empire builder. Where does one meet him? One meets him in the place of battle. One meets him in the place of wrangling. One meets him in the place where torrents of blood fill with longing, as a cup of water does the thirsty. And we talk about a lot of blood with Ogun, and we can't run from this fight. A lot of people are dying. The Taylor man that just died, and he died at the hands of Black people. And so then we are Black American, but who do we identify as? This whole identify as coming out of other movements now. Who we identify as is very important in this whole wrangling for relevance. Although the deity was fierce and terrible, he was not evil, for as a civilized being, he demanded justice, fair play, and integrity. And this is what we're calling for from the world at large. Justice, fair play, and integrity. If appeased, he was tolerant and protective, especially of the poor and dispossessed. So it's Ogun that we need. We have to remember Ogun. We have to, before we walk out of our door, if you need to know what to carry, I'd say carry, wear some kind of metal jewelry, bracelet, necklace, earrings. Always wear some kind of metal, silver, gold, brass, stainless steel, and iron. If it's treated properly, it's wearable. After all, Ogun was responsible for society's most important innovations. His praises were sung by many Yoruba-speaking groups as Master of the World, the innovative deity who showed the way for others, the deity who brought fire, the first hunter, the opener of roads, the clearer of the first fields, the first warrior, the introducer of iron, the founder of dynasties, towns, and kingdoms. Each of these acts was in some way revolutionary. So we're looking for a revolutionary act that will secure our place on this planet, in this world, in these Americas. Each was in some way a first. Indeed, fire was a first principle. It transformed ore into iron, just as it transformed raw food into cooked food. And thus, as Levi Strauss would put it, nature into culture. After Ogun brought a new political order through civil war or conquest, a new economy through clearing the fields, a new technology through the introduction of iron, and a new way of life through the founding of towns and cities. So here they talk about bloodshed, but we have to incur as little bloodshed as possible in this transformation. We have to figure that out using the wisdom of Obatala. And Obatala rarely gets blood. And Ogun, I find, because I know Ogun a little bit better now, is that once Ogun gets angry and the blood starts boiling, it gets to be like, forget it, I want this thing. I see that this thing is right, and no wrong shall prosper and be held against us. And then we are fighting physically, mentally. But with Obatala, the mental fight should be one of securing our interests with as little bloodshed as possible. Okay, so when we talk about Obatala, they have Dreadful God and the Divine King section of the book by John Pemberton. He's talking here about a carved door in which the king is seated below Obatala, because of Obatala is somehow in charge of the king's health and well-being, his head, and the health of his children and his family, and he has to be appeased in order that each child will come out whole. As well as it says the fecundity of the community is also linked to kingship. It is no accident in the Orangun indicates that the carving of the Oba is below that of the Obatala priest. Recall that in the creation myth, Obatala is given the power to shape the human body. Obatala changes blood into a child and causes deformity in children when he is angry or inebriated. It doesn't say that here, but inebriated as well. Hence, on the veranda panel above the dancing Obatala priest, it says couples engage in sexual activity, intercourse, and a child lies at their side. So, because Obatala is very important when you're having children. And the same panel portrays the Oba's ability to deny life. Immediately below the king is a warrior on horseback. Like the warrior or hunter, the Oba wields power which can kill in order to sustain life, and he must do so for the sake of the people. In this role, too, the Oba is like the Orisha, who take the sacrifices offered by the humans so that the gift of life may be given to them. This is talking about, the Obeah's place in the world. So we don't want to anger Ogun if we can. We want to come to him, anger him as a last resort. I mean, we will continue. We will continue. It's a matter of us standing our ground in spite of the onslaught of negativity that's being hurled at us on the media and all these stories they write about us, and that sometimes it's sad that our actors have to survive and make a living and get to do what they love, which is acting. And they have to tell stories that are not exactly in their best interest or in their community's best interest. So that is one of the ways. But here's another, in the shrine for Ogun, this is something that the Oriki, this is another Oriki. On the days when Ogun is angered, there's always disaster in the world. The world is full of dead people going to heaven. The eyelashes are full of water. Tears stream down the face. A bludgeoning by Ogun causes a man's downfall. I see and hear, I fear and respect my Orisha. I have seen your bloody merriment. So, and if we're gonna fight, we're gonna have to fight with Ijala. We're gonna have to fight with incantation, and we're gonna have to fight with ritual. And Ogun can cut a path for us to be, beautiful in the world and successful in the world. And I don't know. It says we can't back down from the fight, but I say that if you don't know how to treat me, I'm going to deny you access to me. And I have people whom I've come across who said that in segregation times, as far as education goes, things were much better. And after integration and mixing in with the other children, the white people, because we weren't allowed even to go to white schools. And then once we were allowed to go to white schools, everything started to decline as far as the education of Black American children. Our schools weren't equipped with the proper books and other tools that you need to thrive and grow to become a fully functioning person in America. And because you had to fight on so many fronts once you were, we tease each other, in our schools. We tease each other. But when you go to school and now you're not only teased, but you're bullied and kicked on and picked on just because of your hairstyle that your mother gave you, or your clothing, because maybe they're not new, because your mother has 12 or 13 children and you're wearing a hand-me-down from, you're the seventh child wearing the hand-me-downs of like the third child, and so, or the first child even in some cases. So, it's a lot to deal with to have to, now you have new, more viciously devised insults to overcome, especially in America. I don't know. It's a little rough. So, and here I say a lot of Black American people are learning about Orisha. I mean, I think I have no choice but to find Orisha after my birth. I was pointed to it by my ancestor Aunt Thelma, and I wanted to be exactly who you see standing before you today. This is exactly what I when she said it, I said, that's what I want to be. She was talking about the hoodoo lady down south who could help deliver children and wash them and straighten them out so they'd be beautiful, and give you advice on how to raise them so that they could reach their fullest potential. And if you're having trouble with your husband, ideas for how to make him stay, how to keep him from being violent, all of these things, and let you know if you needed to run, if you were going to survive this relationship. And these are the things that I wanted to do, and I'm glad that I found a way to get that done. Yep. And I want to thank everybody on Thelma, my godparents, and everybody I met along the way, all these writers of books. I want to thank you and ask that you continue. Ashe. So, I want to read you, I read through that one. But this is another prayer, Oriki for Ogun. It's a praise song from the Yoruba community. The light shining on Ogun's face is not easy to behold. Ogun, let me not see the red of your eye. Ogun is a crazy Orisha who still asks questions after 780 years. Whether I can reply or whether I cannot reply, Ogun, please don't ask me anything. So, and this is a prayer to show you how fierce Ogun is and what we can expect from Ogun as an Orisha. He will question us. I did not know that we eat dog meat. But this is another prayer from Ogun is a torrent of rainwater. He goes everywhere. Ogun is the hunter's lord and master. Ogun, the hunter, is the forest lord and master. Ogun is the hunter's lord and master, and the hunter is the forest lord and master. Ogun is Orisha Oko's lord and master. Ogun Lakaye. Ogun, a crowned king wearing an Ife crown. King who enjoyed his offspring's offerings. Ogun, king of Ire, who, not fancying the hair, allowed the hair to swagger about among the crops on a farm. Ogun, king of Ire, who, not fancying the bullfrog, allowed the bullfrog to enjoy a mother's privileges in the pond. Ogun's special food is dog meat. 'Tis dog meat that Ogun fancies. This is very true. 'Tis forbidden, this is the song. 'Tis forbidden to stay at home after eating dog meat. It's forbidden to stay home after eating dog meat. As soon as you finish eating Ogun's dog, do come along to the high grass parkland. 'Tis forbidden to stay at home after eating dog meat. So Ogun is not just worshipped in a single town. Ogun is worshipped throughout Yoruba land. And just as a torrent of rainwater flows everywhere, so too does Ogun's impinge upon the lives of all Yoruba, and really all of the world, everybody. Ogun Lakaye is the praise name that proclaims Ogun's fame is worldwide. And so, I just wanted to read a lot about Ogun because this reading, to me, it says we have to do prayer, ritual, sacrifice, and we have to learn the incantation. So I suggest everybody, if they can, find a copy of Africa's Ogun. And because it's really, it has a lot of prayers in it and a lot of situations where you will need Ogun and you can call on Ogun. I believe something in here, I don't know where it is. It's set up. It says that if you need Ogun, you can set a place for him in your home. And he is where there's abundance of iron. There are specific tools that some are more important to him than others, like the anvil and the hammer, the pincers for the iron ore in pieces as you're using it on the I don't have the bellows that make the fire hotter for the melting of iron ore, but that's important too. The machete, the chain, the razors for circumcision and scarification. So all of these tools are important to Ogun, and if you need Ogun's mercy, you can keep a place for Ogun. I would say everybody needs that now, because we're in a time where we need Ogun to tell us which block to step down, which block not to go this way. We need Ogun to join us in our life and protect us from metal, hot bullets and knives, picks and other such things, chains. And we want Ogun to keep us fearless. It's not good to walk around fearful. It's good to be not, courageous and bold and brave to, face this world, to go out every day and not hide. The hiding we did for the pandemic. I mean, I was lucky to have a dog, so that I had to walk my dog every day, 3 times a day. So I had to go out, even though everybody else was hiding away. And believe me, it was quiet out there. Very quiet for 2, almost 3 years. It's just getting back to be populated. And I'm in the city of New York, so, well, really it's been populated for about 6 months or so. People have come back out, but so a lot of people in the cities were still, gathering and smoking together and drinking after each other during that pandemic time. And it was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know how it was going to work out for my people, But, having Ogun by you, well, could remind you not to be afraid. Remind you that if you have somewhere to go, you have to get up and go. Remind you that you are strong, you are valuable, and the path that you cut on a daily basis is important to the strength of your community, the strength of your family, and your own strength. Your strength has to be deliberate, and it has to be public. Ogun is not a private Orisha. Ogun is everywhere. Everywhere there's a fence, everywhere there's a car, everywhere there's a road, everywhere there's, roll down gates on the front of businesses, that has to be opened and closed. And everywhere there's a train tracks, it used to be trolley lines. Sometimes you can still step on the trolley line. You can still see it in the ground. It's rare now. When I was younger, we stepped on them all the time. But we need Ogun, but we need him wise. We need him. We need to build our own empires. I would say that if these people don't know how to treat us, then we have to step back. And it's hard to step back unless you have a lot of resources. So our people as a whole, we're struggling, but we have to figure out a way that we're gonna go out and get what we need and bring it back somewhere where people don't have so much access, so that they can't just, stop us and shoot us and beat us. There's only one African village in the Americas, Oyotunji village. I mean, we can go there and build that place. The land is strong enough to build up, even if we can't build out. And we need to respect each other's spiritual practices and not be afraid. If you're not going to be afraid, you're not going to be afraid. But if you're going to be believing what people have told us for hundreds of years, thousands of years, that blood sacrifice is wrong and it's evil and all of this, it's not as evil as living a life of poverty and damn near destitution because you refuse to do your sacrifices. Because you refuse to honor Orisha. Most black people, you have to honor Orisha, and even if you're gonna do it a Shango Baptist style, which is relatively Christian style, you still have to honor the spirits of this world, and the black way of doing spirit honoring in this world is best for black people right now. We have to do it. It's gonna be hard. We don't want blood on our whites if we can help it. So we have to use our head. We have to work together. If we, we're in a mode of fighting, but we have to not fight with each other, and it's hard because a lot of people have character problems. A lot of us have bad character, but it's about working on your characters. It's hard. It's really hard. We're in a hard place because we have so many habits: eating, overeating, undereating, eating the wrong things, respect for things that are not good for us, and disrespect for, family and friends. And we're in a hard place as black people, but if we take the oath of Ogun, between one to the other, that we will do the best we can for self and others, that we will do our ritual sacrifices to protect the group, life will be good for us on this planet. Life will be good for us in America. Ashe. So this is what I had to say about Ogun, and what I had to say about the reading that I did, that's in response to this growing predicament. Now, the whole thing is supposed to blow up about the 25th of March, and I don't know what time that is. I'm going to have to look it up and write something in the description below about what's happening on the 25th of March as far as the stars go, and as far as what we can expect. But going to the full moons, we have a lot of energy, but it will be almost to a waxing moon by the 25th of March. So it's not going to be a big hullabaloo energy that we're going to have to control. And it might even be more of a threat, people threatening and not actually going through with it, because they're not going to have enough momentum and energy. But we will see how this is going to all play out. But I say we need to be wise, and I say we need to make ourselves unavailable for insult and injury. And it's not so much that we are hiding from a fight. We're more or less hiding from stupidity, because people are going to be who they are. If you identify as a black person in America, please like, subscribe, and add notifications to let me know that you see me and hear me and appreciate what I'm doing, so that I can bring more of this spiritual content to you. So these pieces behind me are Ogun. This is a new Ogun painting that I created this year, or last year. Was it? Yeah, the end of last year. And these small Ogun pieces are for wealth. Ogun on Iliwo Owo, the owner of money, so he can cut a path for you so that you can have wealth coming into your life. And I have 3 of those available for sale. And they're not on my website, but if you're interested, you can email me at mermaidbotanica@gmail.com, and I will let you know more about them. But yeah, this is the Ogun piece I created. It's for use on your shrine, or you can just hang it up by your front door, so that you have the energy of Ogun coming and going so Ogun can watch out for you and your family and loved ones. You can keep it in your office so that Ogun can watch out for you as you do business. Yeah, Ogun is a wonderful Orisha. Ogun, I have a really serious relationship with Ogun, and I absolutely love it. Well, please comment and let me know how you like this video. I really would like to hear from you. How do you see what I think about Ogun? It's not that we don't have to run, but we do have to make ourselves we have to make ourselves bigger than this war, bigger than this impossibility that we're being faced with. I looked over, I'm not leaving yet. I looked at gun manufacturers in America, and I looked up the pictures of the manufacturers in America, and not one of them was a black man. In Nigeria, they have blacksmiths copying the AK-47, which is a Russian or Belgian creation. The only places they are making weapons on a large scale is in South Africa, and it's under the tutelage of the government, which is the white man in South Africa. It's really, it's depressing and it's heart-rending but that's what it is. And okay, so look at our king Shaka Zulu, and he saw it coming. I don't know if he saw it through the oracle and ritual understanding, but he saw war coming, and he knew that we were not going to be able to just do Ijala and run up and use incantation to deter these people. No, it's not gonna, because they don't speak the language, but excuse me. So he understood that we have to kill people, and he taught his warriors how to actually get that done. And the first time he did it in a battle, he was highly criticized and but he did become king because he was willing to take that step. He was a bit harsh, and he was harsh, and he was very exacting, I will say, in his his execution of his kingship. But that he was a serious Ogun man. I don't know what they call Ogun in South Africa, but he was he redesigned the shields, and he did a lot of military ideas to make the people ready for what was coming. And what was coming was bullets, and you're gonna have to see people there bleeding and dying. You have to get ready. You have to know what that looks like, and you have to be able to continue to fight in the face of it. So, but we have a lot to overcome as far as if we're going to have to actually fight people, because I don't think a lot of us really know how to fight at this point. I mean, we might know how to fight each other. You're going to hit somebody, knock them down, kick them a little bit, maybe hit them over the head with something or something like that, but this idea of tactical warfare, I mean, these people are studying it and have been studying it forever, and they're so far ahead of us that we have to fight a different way. We have to find another way. We have to, be able to say incantation and jam their guns. We have to, stuff like that. We have to be able to call in the power of Ogun and tell him, look, we want to survive. Now show us the way. So I say, okay, so men are going to have to do that, because Ogun is traditionally a man's society. Ogun's a man's man, but there are women Oguns. And men, I suggest we listen to women, because women are going to come with ideas that are going to be just as necessary as men's ideas, so that we can have a well-rounded perspective and come out with successful. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I pray we are better in April than we are right now. More full, more whole. And I see us being egged on. And another thing is that I don't think we're really going to have to fight the white man. And that's the problem. We're going to have to fight people who identify as the white man. Yes, we're going to have to fight people that identify as the white man. And think and identify with the teachings of the white man about Black Americans, that we are whatever. And mostly what it boils down to is not so much that whatever they think, it's that it boils down to that they think that we are unnecessary. And there's people that are closer to us than they are, and that we have to be careful of. So whoever that is around you, please take note, because it's real. And, if you have friends that are with you and that you can trust with your life, that don't actually look like Black American, because Black Americans come in shades from blonde hair and blue eyes and pale skin to black as this Ogun is behind me, in America. So because we have been mixed, and more thoroughly than others because of our situation here in America, that's why I said we have to see who is around us that identifies as Black and wears it in a way where everybody can see that they identify. And we have a lot of people in this country that identify from all walks of life. It won't be just white people. We were here, and the people that were suffering with us here know who they are and that they identify. And I'm not going to name them because so we have Native Americans, we have Chinese Americans, we have Caribbean Americans. We have a lot of people, and people will be stuck in the group with us whether or not they identify. So you have to remember that as you choose wisely who you identify with, or are you going for the survival of everybody. But everyone, please be great this week coming, this year coming. Please be courageous, bold, willing to survive. Please be thinking about a lot of the things I said in this video, and if you can comment on how you see what I'm talking about. Like, subscribe, add notifications if you like this video, and I will see you again soon. I am Mami Olufunke. You have been listening to Mermaid Radio on YouTube. Ashe. Odabo.